If you're over 60, listen closely. Every bite you take, every hour you sleep, every step you choose or don't shapes the future of your heart. But what if I told you there's one daily habit you're doing right now that's silently pushing your heart toward failure? As a heart surgeon, I've stood in operating rooms, fighting to save seniors who had no idea this one simple habit was stealing their health. I'm not here to scare you, I'm here to empower you. In this video, I'm begging you to stop this one devastating habit. And I'll go further. I'll reveal the 10 most dangerous habits that are attacking your heart every single day, increasing your risk of high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or even a sudden heart attack. The good news, you can change them all, starting today. By the end, you'll know exactly what to stop and what to do instead to protect your heart and add years to your life. Stay with me until the end, because habit 1 is the deadliest, and it's one I see in nearly every patient. This could be the wake-up call that saves you or someone you love. Before we begin, if you're ready to take charge of your heart health with tips like these, hit that subscribe button and join our community of seniors living stronger, healthier lives. Let's dive in. Habit 10, staying sedentary and avoiding movement. Let's start with habit 10, staying sedentary and avoiding movement. Gentlemen and ladies, if you're over 60 and spending most of your day sitting, whether it's watching your favorite shows, reading the paper, or resting in bed, you're rolling out a red carpet for heart trouble. As a heart surgeon, I've seen too many seniors walk into my clinic with hearts weakened not by age, but by stillness. Here's why this is so critical. Your heart is like a car engine. It needs to rev up regularly to stay strong. When you sit for hours, your blood flow slows to a crawl, like traffic in a jam. This sluggish flow lets fats and cholesterol pile up in your arteries, forming dangerous plaques that can lead to heart attacks or strokes. Your heart muscle also gets weaker, struggling to pump blood, which spikes your blood pressure and raises your risk of heart failure. For seniors over 60, staying still is even riskier. Your body's natural repair systems slow down with age, and without movement, your arteries stiffen, your cholesterol climbs, and your heart works overtime just to keep up. But here's the game changer. You don't need a gym or a marathon to fix this. I'm begging you to just move. A simple 30-minute walk split into 15 minutes in the morning and 15 in the evening can slash your heart attack risk by nearly half. That's right, half. Walking isn't just exercise, it's medicine. It opens your blood vessels like unclogging a pipe, sends oxygen rushing to your heart and brain, and melts away stress. It also keeps your weight, blood sugar, and cholesterol in check, all major heart threats. I had a patient, Margaret, 72, who was exhausted and breathless from just climbing stairs. She started walking 20 minutes a day around her neighborhood. Within 3 months, she was dancing with her grandkids. Her blood pressure dropped and her heart was stronger. That's the power of movement. So, how do you break this habit? Start small. If 30 minutes feels like a lot, begin with 10 minutes after breakfast. Walk to your mailbox, around your yard, or even in your living room. Use a buddy system. Invite a friend or spouse to join you. If mobility is an issue, try chair exercises or gentle stretching, anything to get your blood flowing. Make it fun. Listen to music or an audiobook while you move. Here's a pro tip: tie your walk to a daily ritual, like after your morning coffee or evening news. Track your steps with a simple pedometer or the Senior Health Tracker app, linked below to stay motivated. Aim for 5,500 steps daily, or whatever feels doable for you. The key is consistency, not perfection. Don't wait for chest pain or shortness of breath to start moving. Every step you take is a gift to your heart, a promise of more days with the people you love. Let's keep your engine running strong. Get up, get moving, and let's head to habit 9, where a sneaky ingredient is putting your heart at risk. Habit 9. Consuming too much hidden salt. Now, let's talk about habit 9, consuming too much hidden salt. If you're over 60, you might think you're careful with salt, but this silent heart saboteur is hiding in places you'd never suspect. As a heart surgeon, I've seen patients with sky-high blood pressure and swollen hearts, all because of a daily habit they didn't even know was dangerous: eating too much salt. Here's the problem. Salt isn't just what you shake onto your fries. It's lurking in canned soups, bread, sauces, pickles, chips, deli meats, and even your favorite frozen dinners. Too much sodium is like pouring sand into your arteries. It makes your body hold on to water, swelling your blood volume and forcing your heart to pump harder. This extra pressure damages your arteries, raising your blood pressure to dangerous levels. High blood pressure, often called the silent killer, has no symptoms until it triggers a heart attack, stroke, or kidney damage. For seniors over 60, your body is less forgiving. Your kidneys can't flush out excess salt as efficiently, and your arteries are more fragile, making them prime targets for damage. The average senior eats double the recommended salt, 3,400 milligrams daily, when you should aim for just 1,500 milligrams, about half a teaspoon. I had a patient, Henry, 68, who loved his daily canned chili and salty crackers. He was shocked to learn his heart failure symptoms, swollen ankles, shortness of breath improved when he cut salt and switched to fresh meals. His heart was finally breathing easier. So, how do you break this habit first? Become a label detective. Check sodium content on everything. Aim for foods with less than 200 milligrams per serving. Swap processed meals for home-cooked ones, using herbs like basil, garlic, or rosemary, or a squeeze of lemon for flavor. Your taste buds adjust in just 2 weeks, and soon you won't miss the salt. If you crave snacks, choose unsalted nuts, fresh veggies with hummus, or fruit over chips or pretzels. Here's a practical tip. Keep a salt diary for a week. Log everything you eat and its sodium content. Use the Senior Health Tracker app linked in the description to make this easier and get low-sodium recipe ideas. When eating out, ask for sauces on the side or choose grilled over fried dishes, which are often salt-heavy. If you're on medications like diuretics, talk to your doctor about managing salt even more carefully. Cutting salt isn't about bland food. It's about a vibrant life. Every low-sodium choice you make unclogs your arteries, eases your heart's workload, and protects your future. You're worth it, and so is every beat of your heart. Up next, habit 8, a morning mistake that could be setting your heart up for trouble. Habit 8, starting the day with unhealthy breakfasts. Moving on to habit 8, starting the day with unhealthy breakfasts. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're over 60 and kicking off your morning with bacon, sausages, buttered toast, or sugary cereals, you might be serving your heart a recipe for disaster. As a heart surgeon, I've seen countless patients whose morning meals set the stage for heart attacks, and it's time to rethink what's on your plate. Here's why this habit hurts. Greasy, processed breakfast foods are loaded with saturated fats, trans fats, and sugars. Think of them as dumping sludge into your heart's pipelines. These fats spike your cholesterol, coating your arteries like rust in a pipe, while sugars inflame your blood vessels and raise your blood pressure. Mornings are especially risky. Your blood is thicker after waking, and a heavy, fatty meal forces your heart to work overtime. increasing the chance of a heart attack right after breakfast. For seniors over 60, your body can't bounce back from this daily assault as easily. Your metabolism is slower and your arteries are less flexible, making every greasy bite a step toward clogged vessels or heart failure. I had a patient, Clara, 70, who loved her daily sausage biscuit and creamy coffee. She was stunned when chest pain sent her to my clinic. When we switched her to heart-friendly breakfasts, her energy soared, her cholesterol dropped, and her heart was no longer under siege. So, how do you break this habit? You don't need to sacrifice taste for health. Swap out greasy foods for heart-safe options. Try oatmeal topped with fresh berries and a sprinkle of nuts, or whole grain toast with smashed avocado and a boiled egg. A fruit smoothie with spinach and yogurt is another quick, delicious choice. These foods are like a gentle hug for your heart. They lower cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, and keep your arteries clear. Here's a practical tip: prep your breakfast the night before to make mornings easy. Soak oats overnight or chop fruit for a smoothie. If you're on the go, grab a handful of unsalted almonds and an apple. Use the Senior Health Tracker app, linked below, to log your meals and get heart-healthy recipe ideas tailored for seniors. If you're unsure what's safe, aim for foods low in saturated fat and high in fiber. Your heart will feel the difference. Your breakfast sets the tone for your heart's day. Make it a healing meal, not a harmful one. Every bite is a chance to protect your arteries and energize your life. Let's keep going with habit 7, where a common indulgence could be quietly poisoning your heart. Habit 7, drinking alcohol. Too often. Now, let's tackle habit 7, drinking alcohol too often. If you're over 60 and enjoying a nightly glass of wine, a couple of beers, or a cocktail to unwind, you might think it's harmless or even good for your heart. But as a heart surgeon, I'm here to tell you that for seniors, regular alcohol is like playing roulette with your heart's health, and the stakes are higher than you realize. Here's the truth. After 60, your body processes alcohol differently. Your liver works slower, so even small amounts linger, raising your blood pressure and stressing your heart muscle. Alcohol is like a spark in a dry forest. It triggers inflammation, disrupts your heart's rhythm, and piles fat around your heart. Just 1 or 2 drinks a day can lead to atrial fibrillation, a dangerous irregular heartbeat, or even heart failure. And if you're on medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or diabetes, alcohol can interfere, making them less effective. Seniors often drink to relax or sleep better, but here's the catch: alcohol actually worsens sleep, spiking your heart rate at night and leaving you tired. I had a patient, George, 67, who had a nightly whiskey to take the edge off. He came to me with palpitations and high blood pressure. When he cut back to 1 drink a week and switched to herbal tea, his heart rhythm stabilized, his sleep improved, and he felt sharper. His heart was finally getting a break. So, how do you break this habit? The safest choice is to cut alcohol entirely, especially if you have heart issues. But if you choose to drink, limit it to 1 standard drink, no more than a small glass of wine or a single beer, once or twice a week. Not daily. Never binge, as even 1 heavy night can strain your heart. Replace alcohol with heart-friendly alternatives. Try sparkling water with a splash of fruit juice, or soothing teas like chamomile or peppermint for that evening ritual. Here's a practical tip: find new ways to unwind. A 10-minute walk, deep breathing, or listening to calming music can relax you without harming your heart. Track your drinking habits with the Senior Health Tracker app, linked below, to stay mindful and get tips for stress relief. If you're struggling to cut back, talk to your doctor about support options. There's no shame in asking for help. Alcohol might feel like a friend, but it's a foe to your heart. Every drink you skip is a victory for your health, giving your heart the strength to keep beating strong. Up next, Habit 6, a hidden emotional habit that's quietly breaking your heart. Habit 6, holding in emotional stress. Now, let's dive into Habit 6, holding in emotional stress. If you're over 60 and keeping your worries, fears, or frustrations locked inside, maybe about money, health, or loved ones, you're not just carrying a heavy heart, you're choking it. As a heart surgeon, I've operated on seniors with no other risk factors except a lifetime of bottled-up stress. And it's heartbreaking to see. Here's how stress hurts. When you suppress emotions, your body unleashes a storm of cortisol, a hormone that's like acid corroding your arteries. It narrows your blood vessels, spikes your blood pressure, and makes your heart pound like a drum under attack. Over time, this relentless stress hardens your arteries, paving the way for heart attacks, strokes, or irregular heartbeats. For seniors over 60, your heart's defenses are thinner, and stress also dampens your immune system, leaving your heart vulnerable to inflammation. Many seniors feel they must tough it out, but silence is your heart's enemy. I had a patient, Evelyn, 71, who was quietly grappling with loneliness after losing her spouse. She came to me with chest tightness and palpitations. When she joined a local art class and started sharing her feelings with new friends, her symptoms faded, her heart rate steadied, and she found joy again. Her heart wasn't just beating, it was singing. So, how do you break this habit? Start small, let your emotions breathe. Call a friend or family member to share what's on your mind, even if it's just for 5 minutes. If talking feels tough, try a gratitude journal. Write 3 things each day that brought you hope or comfort. Another powerful tool is mindfulness. Sit quietly, focus on your breath for 10 minutes, matao, and let worries slip away like clouds. These acts are like opening a window to let fresh air into your heart. Here's a practical tip. Find one activity that lifts your spirit, like gardening, listening to music, or volunteering. Schedule it weekly to build a stress relief routine. Use the Senior Health Tracker app linked below to log your mood and relaxation habits, with prompts to keep you on track. If stress feels like a tidal wave, talk to a counselor. Your heart deserves that support. Your heart carries your emotions as much as your blood. Every step you take to release stress is a lifeline, giving your heart the space to thrive. Let's move to Habit 5, where a nighttime sound could be a red flag for your heart's survival. Habit 5, overlooking snoring or sleep apnea. We're at Habit 5, overlooking snoring or sleep apnea. If you're over 60 and your snoring shakes the room, or you wake up choking for breath, don't laugh it off or ignore it. That noise isn't just a nuisance, it's your heart gasping for oxygen. As a heart surgeon, I've seen sleep apnea turn healthy seniors into heart patients. And the tragedy is, most don't realize the danger until it's too late. Here's why this matters. Sleep apnea causes your breathing to stop and start during sleep, like a flickering light bulb cutting power to your heart. Each pause drops your oxygen levels, forcing your heart to work harder, like running a marathon while holding your breath. This skyrockets your blood pressure, strains your heart muscle, and raises your risk of irregular heartbeats, strokes, or sudden cardiac arrest. Seniors over 60 are especially vulnerable. Your heart can't afford these nightly battles, and symptoms like daytime fatigue, memory fog, or morning headaches are warning signs you can't ignore. I had a patient, Samuel, 64, who thought his snoring was just part of aging. His wife noticed he stopped breathing at night, and he was always tired. A sleep study revealed severe sleep apnea. With a simple CPAP mask, a device that keeps airways open, Samuel's energy returned. His blood pressure normalized, and his heart was no longer fighting for air. He said, "I didn't know my heart was drowning every night." So, how do you break this habit? If you snore loudly, gasp during sleep, or feel unrested, act now. Get a sleep study. Many are done at home, taking just one night to diagnose. If you have sleep apnea, treatments like CPAP machines or oral devices can save your heart. While waiting for a test, sleep on your side to ease airway pressure, avoid heavy meals or alcohol before bed, and lose excess weight if possible, as it narrows airways. Here's a practical tip: record your sleep sounds with a smartphone app, or ask your partner to note any breathing pauses. Share these with your doctor for faster diagnosis. The Senior Health Tracker app linked below can log sleep patterns and symptoms to streamline your visit. Don't let embarrassment stop you. Fixing sleep apnea is like giving your heart a full tank of oxygen every night. Snoring isn't a joke, it's a signal your heart's in distress. Listen to it, act on it, and give your heart the rest it deserves. Up next, Habit 4, a deadly exposure you might be tolerating without a second thought. Habit 4, exposure to tobacco smoke. Let's tackle Habit 4, exposure to tobacco smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're over 60 and still smoking or even breathing in secondhand smoke from others, you're pouring poison straight into your heart. As a heart surgeon, I've seen arteries so clogged from tobacco that they looked like rusted pipes. And the tragedy is, every puff or whiff is preventable damage. Here's why this habit is deadly. Tobacco smoke, whether from cigarettes, cigars, or secondhand exposure, is a cocktail of toxins that attack your heart's lifelines. It's like sandblasting the delicate lining of your arteries, causing inflammation and building sticky plaques that block blood flow. This leads to heart attacks, strokes, or heart failure. For seniors over 60, your blood vessels are already more fragile, and smoke accelerates their breakdown, slashing your heart's ability to pump oxygen. Even one cigarette a day or regular secondhand exposure doubles your risk of heart disease. I had a patient, Walter, 73, who never smoked, but spent evenings in a smoky community center playing cards. He came to me with shortness of breath and high blood pressure. When he started avoiding those smoky rooms and joined an outdoor walking group, his symptoms improved, his arteries began healing, and he felt alive again. His heart was finally free from the toxic fog. So, how do you break this habit? If you smoke, quitting is the single most powerful gift you can give your heart. Talk to your doctor about nicotine patches, gum, or counseling. Within months of quitting, your heart risk drops significantly. If you've already quit, congratulations, but don't let secondhand smoke undo your progress. Politely ask smokers to light up outside, choose smoke-free venues, or step away from smoky areas. There's no safe level of exposure. Every breath of clean air counts. Here's a practical tip: replace smoking rituals with heart-healthy ones. If you smoked after meals, try chewing sugar-free gum or sipping herbal tea instead. Track your smoke-free days with the Senior Health Tracker app, linked below, to stay motivated and see your progress. Boost your heart's recovery with antioxidant-rich foods like berries or spinach to counter past damage. If quitting feels tough, you're not alone. Support groups can make all the difference. Every cigarette you avoid, every smoky room you leave, is a step toward a stronger heart. Don't let tobacco steal your breath or your years. Choose clean air and let your heart thrive. Up next, Habit 3, a modern habit that's quietly robbing your heart of rest. Habit 3, late night screen time. Now, we're at Habit 3, late night screen time. If you're over 60 and scrolling through your phone, watching TV, or checking emails right before bed, you might think it's harmless downtime. But as a heart surgeon, I'm here to warn you, those glowing screens are stealing your heart's chance to heal. This modern habit is a hidden threat to seniors, and it's time to turn it off. Here's the problem. The blue light from screens suppresses melatonin, your body's sleep hormone, like throwing a wrench into your heart's nightly repair shop. Poor sleep spikes your blood pressure, raises stress hormones, and disrupts your heart's rhythm, setting the stage for heart attacks, strokes, or atrial fibrillation. Late-night screen use also keeps your brain wired. News, social media, or shows can stir anxiety or excitement, sending your heart rate climbing when it should be resting. For seniors over 60, quality sleep is non-negotiable. Your heart relies on those quiet hours to recover, but screen time robs you of deep rest, leaving your arteries inflamed and your blood sugar unsteady. I had a patient, Susan, 68, who stayed up late binge-watching shows on her tablet. She came to me with fatigue and an irregular heartbeat. When she stopped screens an hour before bed and switched to reading, her sleep deepened, her heart rhythm stabilized, and she felt energized. Her heart finally got the rest it craved. So, how do you break this habit? Create a screen-free bedtime routine. Power down phones, tablets, and TVs. At least 1 hour before sleep. Think of it as tucking your heart in for the night. Instead, try calming activities, read a physical book, listen to soft music, or do gentle stretches. If you need your phone nearby, use a blue light filter or night mode and keep it across the room to avoid temptation. Here's a practical tip: set a digital curfew alarm to remind you to unplug. Replace screen time with a relaxing ritual, like sipping chamomile tea or meditating for 5 minutes. Use the Senior Health Tracker app linked below to log your sleep habits and get bedtime routine ideas tailored for seniors. If you're hooked on late-night news, record shows to watch earlier, or read a newspaper instead, your heart heals when you sleep, but screens keep it awake and vulnerable. Every night you choose rest over scrolling is a gift to your heart's longevity. Let's head to habit 2, where a tempting food choice is clogging your heart's lifelines. Habit 2, frequent fast food or fried snacks. Let's move to habit 2, frequent fast food or fried snacks. If you're over 60 and regularly reaching for burgers, fries, fried chicken, or bags of greasy chips, you're not just indulging, you're clogging the very arteries that keep your heart alive. As a heart surgeon, I've seen hearts strangled by the fats from these foods, and it's a preventable tragedy that breaks my own heart. Here's why this habit is so harmful. Fast food and fried snacks are packed with trans fats, saturated fats, and salt. Think of them as pouring thick oil into your heart's delicate plumbing. These fats coat your arteries like grease in a drain, forming plaques that block blood flow, leading to heart attacks or strokes. The high salt content spikes your blood pressure, while the fats raise your cholesterol, forcing your heart to work harder until it's exhausted. For seniors over 60, your slower metabolism and aging arteries can't handle this daily assault, turning every greasy bite into a step toward heart failure. I had a patient, Dorothy, 65, who loved her weekly fast food runs for fried fish and chips. She came to me with chest pain and dangerously high cholesterol. When she switched to home-cooked meals like grilled fish with steamed veggies, her chest pain faded, her cholesterol dropped, and she felt lighter. She told me, "I didn't realize my heart was choking on my favorite treats." So, how do you break this habit? You don't need to give up flavor, just swap the grease for health. Limit fast food and fried snacks to once a month, not weekly or daily. Choose baked, grilled, or steamed options instead. Think grilled chicken wraps, air-fried veggies, or homemade soups. Snack on heart-friendly foods like fresh fruit, unsalted nuts, or yogurt with berries. These nourish your heart instead of clogging it, keeping your arteries clear and your energy high. Here's a practical tip: plan your meals weekly to avoid fast food temptation. Batch cook healthy dishes, like a big pot of vegetable stew, to have ready-to-eat options. Use the Senior Health Tracker app, linked below, to log your meals and get heart-safe snack ideas tailored for seniors. When eating out, check menus online for low-fat, low-sodium options, and split oversized portions to avoid overeating. What you eat becomes your blood, and greasy food makes greasy blood. Every healthy choice you make cleans your arteries and strengthens your heart. You deserve meals that fuel your life, not shorten it. Now, let's get to habit 1, the deadliest habit I see in nearly every senior patient. Habit 1, ignoring high blood pressure or skipping medications. We've reached habit 1, ignoring high blood pressure or skipping medications. And as a heart surgeon, I'm begging you, this is the deadliest habit of all. If you're over 60 and think high blood pressure is no big deal, or you're skipping your prescribed pills because you feel fine, you're playing with fire, and your heart is the one getting burned. This is the habit I see in almost every senior patient who ends up in my operating room. Here's why this is so critical. High blood pressure, often called the silent killer, is like a relentless battering ram against your heart and arteries. It thickens your heart muscle, narrows your blood vessels, and tears their delicate linings, setting the stage for heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure, or sudden death. You won't feel symptoms until it's too late: a sudden collapse, chest pain, or worse. For seniors over 60, your heart is less able to withstand these constant blows, and skipping even a few days of medication can cause dangerous pressure spikes. I had a patient, Thomas, 70, who stopped his blood pressure pills because he felt normal. He collapsed during a family dinner, and we barely saved him from a massive stroke. When he restarted his meds and monitored his pressure daily, he regained his strength and enjoyed his grandkids again. He said, "I didn't know my heart was screaming for help." Don't let that be you. So, how do you break this habit? If you have high blood pressure, treat your medication like a lifeline, not an option. Take it at the same time daily. Set a phone alarm or pair it with brushing your teeth. Monitor your blood pressure at home with a simple cuff. Aim for readings below 130/80 and log them to spot trends. If you have side effects, don't stop. Call your doctor to adjust the dose or try a different drug. Consistency is your heart's best defense. Here's a practical tip: use a pill organizer to never miss a dose, and keep a backup supply in your bag for travel. The Senior Health Tracker app, linked below, can remind you to take meds and track your readings, making it easier to stay on top of your health. If you haven't checked your blood pressure recently, get it tested. Now, free screenings are often available at pharmacies. Ignoring high blood pressure is like ignoring a ticking bomb. Every pill you take, every reading you check, is a shield for your heart, protecting the years you have left with those you love. This is the habit to stop today. Your heart can't wait another moment. Let's wrap up with what you can do next to save your heart. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just uncovered the 10 habits that could be quietly harming your heart, from fast food to skipping your blood pressure meds. If you're over 60, take a moment to let this sink in. Your heart has carried you through every joy, every challenge, every beat of your life. It's never asked for much, but right now, it's asking for your care, your attention, and just a little bit of change. Think about what your heart beats for: those mornings with your family, those quiet moments with a good book, those dreams you still want to chase, every walk you take, every healthy meal you choose. Every pill you take on time is a promise to keep those moments alive. As a heart surgeon, I've seen seniors transform their lives with these small steps: fewer hospital visits, more energy, and years added to share with loved ones. You can do this too. This isn't about perfection. It's about starting somewhere. Maybe it's swapping fries for fruit, turning off your phone an hour earlier, or checking your blood pressure today. Whatever it is, that first step is your strength, your courage, your gift to yourself. You're not alone. Millions of seniors are on this journey, and every choice you make lights the way for others. To make it easier, try the Senior Health Tracker app. It's free, linked in the description, and built for seniors like you. It guides you with meal ideas, medication reminders, and simple ways to track your progress, like a friend cheering you on. Start with one habit this week and watch how your heart responds. If this video touched you, please share it with a friend, a sibling, or anyone over 60 who deserves to know. Together, we can help more hearts beat stronger, longer. Hit that like button if you're ready to make a change, and drop a comment. Tell me which habit you're starting with. Your story might just inspire someone else. Thank you for watching. Take care of your heart, and it'll take care of you. Here's to more beats, more moments, more life.